Just got back. I did upper body day at the gym. It's Monday today, of course. So I just did upper body day at the gym. I got back home. I made some mince, just half a packet of just mince, butter, salt, and honey. That was my meal. That was my breakfast for the day. Now I'm recording content. After I finish recording content, I'm going back to the gym for gym workout number 2 of the day. And then after that, I've got to do obviously more work. I'm working all day because it's Monday. It's Bank Holiday Monday today. And I made a post about this today in Alpha Sets. And you know what, actually? I don't know what the point of this video is going to... I think this video... Well, I do have video ideas, but I'm actually just going to turn this video into a yap session, as Matt calls it, a yap session. I'm just talking. I got back from the gym. I made my food. People ask me all the time, like, why don't I eat eggs? Because that's like a thing that people are surprised about, that I don't eat eggs. I don't eat eggs because eggs smell absolutely disgusting. The smell of eggs is so repulsive to the point where if it smells so bad and I'm so repulsed by the smell, my body clearly don't want to eat it. I clearly don't want to eat eggs. And it's like, oh yeah, but eggs are just so good for you, bro, that you should just eat them anyway. Like, I eat things that I don't like, don't get me wrong, just because they're good for me. Like, I don't like liver. I don't even really like beef that much. I like steak, but just eating a bowl of beef mince, it's not very nice, in my opinion. But why are eggs good for you? Because you get cholesterol, you get fats, and you get proteins. Like, that's great. But I get cholesterol, fats, and proteins from eating my beef mince and butter. And I'd rather eat beef mince and butter than eggs. So, anyway, I just had my food, beef, butter, honey, salt. And now I'm here recording content, and then after this I go back to gym for gym session number 2. It's Bank Holiday Monday today. Most people in the UK like to fuck around on a Bank Holiday Monday. But I just posted an Alpha Setters that is Alpha Setter law to do 2 things. It's Alpha Setter law to absolutely violate the Monday, to conquer the Monday. This is Alpha Setter law. And also to be willing to do what 99% of people are not willing to do. 99% of people fuck around on a Bank Holiday Monday. So Alpha Setters go harder than ever on a Bank Holiday Monday. And then also it's just Monday anyway. So of course it's Monday Conquest today. And I've got a confession. So it's like if you saw me walking down the street, you'd think I talk to myself. But sometimes I just like to have a conversation with God. To me, it's like I'm walking, I'm talking. This is between me and my God. So if you was just watching me walking, you might think I'm talking to myself. But yeah, there's a conversation between me and my God. And I realized something. So I've only found out that it was Bank Holiday Monday like yesterday. No, Saturday. Saturday I found out that it was Bank Holiday Monday. And the first thing that came into my mind, I was like, oh shit, I'm pissed off because I hate Bank Holiday Mondays because the boxing gym that I train at, Fight Training Performance Center, we close for Bank Holiday Mondays. And that's a shame for me because like Mondays are my favorite day of the week because obviously 1, it's Monday Conquest, and 2, just the boxing class on Mondays. It's just my favorite class of the week. Like probably that has a part of it just because my mindset's on point on a Monday and I'm ready to work. But like Mondays are just my favorite class. So no boxing today. So I was like, oh fuck, I don't have boxing on Monday. And I was like, oh wait a minute. That means I've got a free evening. Like I'm free for the evening. Cool. I know what I'll do. I'll plan a date because obviously since the start of the year, you guys know this, I've like been dating. I've got to a point now where it's like, okay, I'm financially stable. I've built myself into a man where I think like, I could quite easily like support a partner and maybe kids and stuff, So it's like I've been dating since the start of the year, of course. And I was like, oh, I know, I've got a free period. That's a perfect opportunity for me to plan a date. Because the thing is with me and dating right now is, of course, I'm a business owner and I'm still prioritizing my boxing and everything. So it's like, I'm busy. Always got leads in the pipeline where it's like, I've got girls there that I would like to go on a date with. But it's just about finding time to go on a date with these girls, right? So I was like, oh, I'll use that opportunity. Bank Holiday Monday, they'll probably be off work or something as well. I'll use the opportunity to schedule a date. Perfect. And then real quick, like I caught myself. I was like, wait. Temi, what the fuck did you just say? Temi? What the fuck? It's Monday. What? I cannot believe that even mentally I would say to myself that I might potentially book a date on Monday. That's the most outrageous thing I've said to myself for a long time. Because Mondays are for conquest. I like usually, like not on a normal Monday, I don't reply to anyone, like any girls or anything. Even my appointment setters, like they struggle to get through to me. Even the people that work for me struggle to get through to me. My brother struggles to get through to me. Trying to contact me on a Monday is a difficult task. It's hard. And I especially don't reply to girls on a Monday. I don't reply to them at all. They will be completely ignored for 24 hours because on a Monday, Mondays are for grinding for me. Like literally, like just working. It is again. I told you, it's alpha set a law to violate the Monday. So normally, I don't even text a girl on a Monday. Never take one out for a date. And then I somehow forgot this, and I was like, for a second, I was like, oh, hold on, let me go on a date on Monday. And I was like, yo, that's mad. How have I even said that? How has this happened? And I realized I was like, so I was, having this conversation. I journaled about this as well. Like, how has this happened? And it's like, I've almost put too much of my mental market share into dating. I've put too much of it into dating because I never used to be like this. I never used to be like this at all. Like, even when I've been like seeing girls, a great example of this actually, like I've always been very, very purpose driven and like all in on my self improvement. That's always been the most important thing. And I think that's how it's supposed to be. Like when you read the book, The Way of the Superior Man, it's like as a man, your focus is always on your mission, on your purpose. Whatever that is at the time, that's your number one priority. For women, their priority is always going to be on like relationships and stuff like that. That's not always, of course, there's exceptions to the rule, but for the most part, their energy craves, wants to focus itself on relationships, and masculine energy wants to focus itself on its purpose, its mission, its contributions to the society, or your work, or whatever your project is, your purpose is right now. That's where your priority is gonna lie. And I used to be like so purpose driven, like to the point where like, I literally did not care about women at all. There was this girl that, so this is when I was training 11, 12 times a week at the time, boxing, kickboxing. I was competing in kickboxing. I was doing well. I was in the field working in sales as well. And I was living a high energy lifestyle, like with the boys, making commissions every single day, just like grinding it out and then going training again. I was training 11, 12 times a week. So I'd come back from my sales job and then I'd go to work. No, I'd come back from my sales job and then I'd go training for like 4 hours. And, I was just so dialed into my purpose and like just becoming a G, basically. And there was this girl that I was seeing at the time. And when I say seeing, I've never been in like a serious relationship. But I'd say this is probably the closest thing that I've had to a serious relationship. It's like the girl that I was seeing at the time. Like, I'd go around to a house like a couple of days a week. Like I was sleeping with this girl. And I liked her. I liked the girl. Like she was a beautiful girl, like very, very attractive girl. Yeah, very attractive girl. And I was sleeping with this girl at the time, and I'd see her a couple of times a week. But then, in between, like when I'd see her, I literally would not like reply to her messages. I wouldn't call her. I wouldn't reply to her. Literally for like days at a time, because that's how locked in. Like to the point where I was stone cold, and I definitely don't think this is the correct way to be. Like I don't think this is healthy. But I was so extreme with it to the point where. And also, this is before I was religious as well, I'll just say, because obviously I've just said that I was sleeping with this girl. It's no secret that I'm not a virgin. But obviously, you guys know me, like I'm completely celibate now that I'm Catholic. But yeah, literally, I wouldn't speak to this girl at all for days, and I'd just be so focused on sales and like training. And then I'd go see this girl. I liked this girl. Like again, there was nothing wrong with this girl at all. Like I was interested as well, but it's just she wasn't a priority for me. Like I had my priorities there, and then I was so stone cold about the whole situation. Like to the point where like she didn't really like. Even though I was interested in her, at one point she just started being like very argumentative, like in a way, like trying to like start an argument with me or something because like I've not spoke to her in a few days or something like that, which is completely valid, by the way. Like I've not spoke to the girl that I'm seeing and sleeping with for a few days. Completely valid for her to be like upset about that, especially considering her priority is obviously going to be the relationship. And then I would just be like, you know what? You're giving me a headache. And if there's one thing that I refuse to have, it's a headache whilst I'm trying to focus on my sales and work. Like if you're occupying like my mental space when I'm trying to go to sleep at night or when I'm trying to close deals, I'm not dealing with this shit. And I literally was just like, nope, you're giving me a headache. That's it. We're done. She was just trying to argue with me, and I wouldn't argue with her. I was just like, you know what? No, you give me a headache, bye. Which is mad. Like when I think back to it, like that's absolutely like that's almost like psychopathic behavior. Like that's almost like that's crazy. Like I was just stone cold, like emotionless, just focused on the mission. Now I don't think that's necessarily a good way to be, but obviously it's benefited me because I've been able to build into the character that I am today. And I was just analysing that. I've lost that a lot. Now obviously it's good that I've lost that to an extent. That's very extreme. But to the obviously Mondays to me it's like a rule that I've got that on Mondays I don't talk to women, I don't think about women, like I'm just focused on the mission. I think a part of that, again, I don't know what the purpose of this video is. It's just a yap session. But I think a part of that maybe is because as I've become religious and as I've just become a more wholesome person, I guess. Now, obviously, like my long-term plans, like I want to have a family, like I want to have a wife, I want to have loads of kids and go live in the countryside and raise the next generation of modern crusaders. Maybe that's why I'm putting like more attention into my dating, but still, like as a man, my priority should always be on my mission, especially on a Monday. Like I've got time, I can make time for dating. I've been doing it a little bit. Dating's been interesting though, because one thing that I've realized, one thing that I've been doing, when I go out with these girls, one thing that I always find really interesting to do, like whenever I meet these girls, is like going through like their their dating profiles. And it's not like I'm like, give me your phone, let me have a look at that. It's like, no, oh, like, how's dating been so far for you? And then they'll say like, not very good, ha ha ha, whatever. I'll be like, like, let's go through your dating profile. I'll see if it's any good. And then they'll get it out and then be like, yeah, let's have a look at your messages. And we'll usually like laugh along to it, and it's usually kind of funny. But one thing that I've realised from going through these girls' dating profiles, it's bad, brother. Like it's really bad. Like the most average girls ever. Like I've been on a lot of dates so far this year, and like some of these girls are like really like I've been on dates with like literal tens this year, and I've also been on dates with like sevens, and I've also been on dates with like sevens who I was like, oh, you know what, she seems like a good girl, and then realistically she was just degenerate and unappealing in every way. And even like the sevens that are completely unappealing, got no personality, and like completely hoes, like all of this stuff, these girls get so much attention from these simps 24/7. And when I say simps, you imagine if I say the word simp, you imagine some like spotty gamer guy that's socially awkward and he's like fat and he's never had a girlfriend before in his life. He's never even kissed a girl and he's 25 years old. That's what you think when I say simp. When I say simps, I'm talking like literally big G's. Like I'm talking like square-faced black guys with like Mercedes. They literally like are simping over like these super meaty girls all the time on dating apps, and it's mad. It's absolutely mad. Obviously, we know why they're doing this. They're not doing this because they want to make these girls their future wives, of course. They do this because obviously they're just horny and they want to sleep with anything that they can, basically. Which is a problem. Which is why, as modern crusaders, we need to lead by example. Like we need to like double down on our way of life just to counter the degenerates out there. But what the real thing is right now, I suppose because I'm saying that on Monday you shouldn't give your attention. On Monday I don't give I'm not going to tell you what to do, but on a Monday I don't give my attention to women. I put it all into my work, and I think after today and after what we've just spoke about together for the last 10 minutes or so, I'm going to withdraw a little bit of my focus away from the women because honestly, like, one, they're just not worth it because, I mean, so far I've been on so many dates and not one of these girls has been worth my attention. And two, just because that's how we should live life as men, and that's what we need to push. Because at the moment, like the dating market in the UK is getting ruined because of how much attention these girls get for undesirable behaviour. I think if you was in the Modern Crusaders Telegram group, actually, let me read this. You know what? Let's talk about this. We're in a yap session. Let's talk about this. I made a post in the Modern Crusaders Telegram group, and you should join it. By the way, boys, you should join it. Okay. I should have screenshotted it before I unfollowed her so that I could actually post it like a screenshot in the Telegram group. So basically, I matched a girl on Hinge. And she was a Nottingham Trent student. So, of course, Nottingham Trent students, if you've watched the podcast I did with Yomi, like, they've got a very bad reputation for being very godless, very sinful girls. I think I might have explained the story about the girl getting bum fucked by a alcohol bottle in a club. Yeah, it's not good. So she was a trench student, and I automatically assume if she's a trench student, she a hoe. I automatically assume this. I knew what to expect, but of course, like I'm not gonna completely write her off, like just like straight away. Like I assume she's a hoe, but I can. It's like guilty until proven innocent. In this case, with trench students, if I prove that they're innocent and they're not a hoe, then cool. But in my back of my mind, I'm not gonna have high expectations. So I asked her if she's a good girl, and she was really trying to convince me that she was a good girl. So I went with it. She was trying to say that she's a very good girl, and she's looking for a good guy, and all of this stuff. I'm like, yeah, okay, sure. Yeah, looking for a good guy, yeah, imagine. Obviously, I wasn't sold, but I went with it. I got her Instagram after we spoke on Hinge for a little bit. We was having quite like a flirtatious conversation on Hinge. Um, Got her Instagram, and then I added her on Instagram, and then a few laters after I added her, I viewed her I viewed her Instagram story. She'd added me to like her close friends story, so like the green circle, and I watched it. On her close friends story, she'd reposted some of these attention-seeking white girl hoe quotes. The first one being, "My toxic trait is that my pussy so wet." Now one of those like, I'm just bait quotes or something. My toxic trait that my pussy so wet. Amazing. Posted this on like her close friend story. Like I wonder if we looked at her close friend story. She's only following like 200 people, by the way. But if we looked at that close friend story, I bet it's just gonna be big nigga, big nigga, big nigga. Just a bunch of niggas. Just a bunch of black guys on this close friend story, I'm telling you. And then the second quote that she posted is, "If I scoot back when we're in bed, don't piss me off and play dumb. Hurry up and fuck me already." With like a rolling eyes emoji. This is what she's posting on her story, on her close friend story, right? Which I'm already added to, by the way. After reading this, I can't say that I was exactly shocked because this is pretty typical trench student behavior, but it inspired me to post this here. These girls post this bullshit because they get attention. Horny guys will slide in her DMs after reading stuff like this because she's basically advertising herself for sex. I know how this whole thing works and all that. I've seen this many times before. I know that horny guys will slide into her DMs because I was the horny guy that would slide into her DM. If I saw something like that, I would swipe up. I'd message her because I'm down. Yeah, so I was that guy. So I know about this very well. And the reason they do this is, because every time they post something like this, it's like guaranteed leads. It's like, imagine if you've got a business right now. If I post a call to action, like I'm looking for a couple of guys that are interested in alpha setters, and every time I post something like this, I get leads and I make money. It's like, I'm going to keep doing it, right? Every time she posts something like this, she's getting leads. She's getting attention. Because what do women want? They just want attention. They will suck the attention out of you like just for no reason, because they just like attention. If there's one thing that I absolutely refuse to do, is deal with these types of women that just obsess over attention. I absolutely refuse to do it. I was actually out with some of the alpha setter boys. This is a complete yap session. I don't know how long this video is going to be. I'm just talking about everything right now. I was out with the alpha setter boys on Saturday. And there was this girl that I was kind of interested in. Like, apparently she was interested in me. Maybe she was, maybe she wasn't. I can't tell because the mixed signals were absolutely crazy. Like the most mixed signals you've ever seen in your life. Like she's like touching my like thigh and stuff like that. But then she wasn't that close to me. Like she was distancing herself, but she was touching my thigh, but she was all the way over there. I tell her to come closer, she won't come closer. And I was like, okay, that's weird. And then I'm not going to go into too much detail about this, but like this girl was like I've never had more mixed signals in my life. Like I could not tell like what this girl was on at all. And if there's one thing that I don't do is entertain girls that just love attention for the sake of having attention and give mixed signals, because I don't deal with this bullshit. Again, this all goes back to, I don't want this shit fucking with me mentally. I don't want any women to be able to affect me emotionally to the point where it takes away from me focusing on my work. Anyway, going back to the Telegram thing, going back to the trench student hoe. So obviously, after she posted this stuff, like straight away, I just unfollowed her and I was like, yeah, I'm not dealing with this girl. In conclusion, though, if we all made a deal as modern crusaders to stop giving these attention-seeking girls positive reinforcement for undesirable behavior, then they'd stop doing it. If all men just made an agreement like, okay, yeah, you know what, let's stop giving these girls attention when they post these slutty pictures and these first traps on these silly quotes, my pussy so wet, blah, blah, blah. If we all stopped giving them attention, then they'd stop posting it, and we would slowly be fixing women. We'd slowly be fixing the generation. So that's why I'm a big believer on be the change that you want to see in the world. And that's why as modern crusaders, we have to do this. Like, it's discipline, it's hard, but we have to stay true to this because this is how we fix the world for our kids. Because again, if we don't fix this, then our kids are going to have much of a worse time than we are, right? Yeah, as modern crusaders, let's stop positively reinforcing undesirable behavior. Don't even say say anything. Like, just withdraw attention, because that's what it is. Some attention is better than no attention. Even if it's bad attention, it's better than no attention. So literally just unfollow them, withdraw attention. If we all made a deal to do this and we all stuck at it, and you G-check your boys for it as well, like you make sure your boys aren't doing this stuff as well, then we're doing God's work, boys. Literally, we're doing God's work. These girls are literally like this because of us. It's not their fault, and it's like, this is not shade at women. It's like, it's our fault for giving them all of this attention 24/7 and being just so horny and just jumping on them every 2 seconds whenever they post something like this. It's our fault. I've been through all these girls' dating apps, and it's like, it's not their fault that they are. It's not their fault that they have this very horrible mindset when it comes to dating. Like, girls nowadays, the most needy girls ever, like, they won't pursue a guy because they all think that they're the prize. It's because they've got attention coming out their bumhole. If they didn't have so much attention, then they would be better. It's not girls' fault, it's our fault as guys. Check your boys if they're doing this, and yeah, let's do God's work. But yeah, trench student, yeah, I'm a good girl, blah, blah, blah. First thing that I see when I go on her Instagram, added me to the close friend story, my toxic trait, that my pussy's so wet, yeah. Now, we're not dealing with this. I think it's important, like, what I've got is I try to be logical as possible when I'm approaching dating. Like, I've got like a set of rules that I sort of follow. It's like, if they tick certain boxes, then like, okay, perfect, green flags. But if they cross certain boxes or tick whatever, there's certain things that I look for, and it's like, if they do one of these things, like certain red flags, then they're just instantly disqualified. I literally treat it like a CRM. I'm not even joking. I was saying to the boys, like, I'm highly considering making a CRM literally for dating. I'm not joking. Yap session. But yeah, this whole conversation again, I don't say this is some red pill guy, be alpha, stop giving girls attention and they're going to like you more and stuff like that. I really hate all that stuff. I really just believe in just men being men, women being women. If you find a girl that you're interested in, then just tell her you're interested in her and just be a good man. Like, I'm all for that. Like, I really like just the traditional way of doing things. I think it's really beautiful when men and women get married young as well. I don't play games. I refuse to play games with any of these girls. All of these pickup artists saying like different things, and these degenerate red pill guys like, oh yeah, you make sure to do so and so on the first date, or don't give her attention, bro, or don't reply to her messages, bro. It's not worth it. I hate all these red pill guys. I just believe in being truly authentic and just being a good man. Like, that's it. I don't play games with these women. But I also just want you guys, being authentic to you might mean replying to first chaps. Don't do that, bro. Please don't do that. Yeah, I don't know what the point of this video was, but Yap session. Subscribe for more content, boys. Enjoy Modern Crusaders. First link in the description. It's Monday, boys. Make it count. Keep grinding.